The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
There's a time and place for everything, except for The Last Jedi being worth your time. Screen Rant, a website so slanted that this shelf is jealous, has recently put out a list of the 25 best films on Netflix, and I shit you not, The Last Jedi is number 1. With the exception of Moonlight, which I haven't seen, so I can't judge, literally every film on this list is good to great, and all easily better than The Last Jedi. Films like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Schindler's List, Pulp Fiction, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and so many more. Yet, The Last Jedi tops them all. Why? Well, listen to this. Easily one of, if not the most controversial and divisive entries in the entire Star Wars canon among fans. Director Rian Johnson's Star Wars The Last Jedi was nevertheless a huge hit with critics, earning a stellar 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes. The sequel also earned huge bank at the box office, hauling in over $1.3 billion worldwide, and easily topping the list of the highest-grossing movies of 2017. Whatever one thinks of The Last Jedi, it's impossible to deny that the film is worth a Netflix watch at least once in order to be part of the ongoing cultural conversation surrounding it. So, 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the fans said. Yeah, that's more like it. Also, $750 million less than the film that came before it, and now the next film is tracking to open even lower than that. I fail to see how that's a huge success. The ongoing cultural conversation surrounding the film is much better than the film itself. It's a movie about running low on gas and space, purple-haired weirdo and a posh Freddy Krueger that gets cut in half. That's about it. Most of the cultural conversation is about how much it ruined Star Wars, why the president of the company is inept, and why you should respect your fan base. The only value the film offers is a crash course in how to kill a franchise. Screen Rant themselves aren't too reliable for non-biased reporting. They definitely lean a certain way. I mean, hell, they find Golden Girls offensive. That's the level of crazy we're dealing with here. They also post silly articles like these. They also flip-flop pretty hard when the tide is turned against them. Check out the ratio on this video they posted about how The Last Jedi was problematic. Yeah, the fans really love them. Screen Rant has clearly shown themselves to be part of the access media. They say whatever they need to get those freebies from the studios, and then change their opinions later on down the road after no one cares. As found on the Saltier Than Crate subreddit, Screen Rant's articles often praise Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson's illogical decisions, and the story groups focus on color, women, and diversity over story. And we've known that all along. If you've ever heard an argument about diversity in Star Wars, if you've ever heard a stupid article about why Rose Tico is so great, if you've ever heard an article about why women are the true heroes of Star Wars, well, it probably came from Screen Rant because they toe that company line harder than you can imagine. Also, while we're here on the subreddit, let's check out this #1 comment from the Rise of Skywalker trailer. They can try to spin this as internet trolling, but over 17,000 thumbs up is a lot to blame on trolls. Kinda like all the Rotten Tomato fan scores. It's a very valid question too. What is this trilogy about? I don't know. If you know, tell me down in the comments below. Original trilogy had a narrative thread. The prequel trilogy had a narrative thread. This? Nothing. All of this drama stems from Rian Johnson's masterpiece, The Last Jedi. Thankfully, he's getting another crack at Star Wars, no matter how much we don't want it. It seems like we're reassured weekly that Rian Johnson's trilogy is still happening. As you can see here on Screen Rant, Rian Johnson confirms Star Wars trilogy talks are still ongoing. Rian Johnson reveals he's still in talks to make a Star Wars trilogy for Disney. Johnson was the director of the second film in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, The Last Jedi. While the film certainly made Disney a ton of money at the box office, the film turned out to be one of the most divisive films in Star Wars history. At one point, it was rumored that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy was canceled, but the director quickly debunked that rumor. While the trilogy hasn't been outright canceled, the slow development of the trilogy has led some to question whether Disney is still actively developing the project. Johnson has remained optimistic about his trilogy these past few years, but now he has another update for the fans. We're still engaged with Lucasfilm and we'll wait and see. No updates on it at this moment, but yeah. It's like the only way Disney knows how to keep Star Wars in the conversation is by pissing off the fans. Show of hands, who wants this trilogy? I know I don't. These films are all an easy pass. And it seems like they constantly talk about the Rian Johnson trilogy just to keep people thinking that it's a possibility. You know, with the news of Benioff and Weiss last week, it makes me concerned that this is even more likely to happen. But who knows? We thought that was going to be the case for them, making a Star Wars trilogy, and now it's dead in the water. Who knows what could happen with the Rian Johnson trilogy? Rian Johnson could just up and run away to South America and never be heard from again. If that's the case, Rian, shoot me an email. I'll buy you a ticket. The social conversation around The Last Jedi is how terrible it was, how it ruined Star Wars and bastardized Luke Skywalker's legacy. It didn't add to the Star Wars mythos, it didn't create new Star Wars fans, it broke the hearts of multiple generations and created apathy for the next. If Star Wars is to survive, Rian Johnson is not the man for the job. A new start is required. As for Screen Rant, they'll continue to make garbage content that angers the internet. I 100% guarantee that the sole purpose of this article was to get some attention from us, the Fandom Menace. Well, Screen Rant, here it is. Thanks for the laughs, at your own expense. So it's number one over films like Schindler's List and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Pulp Fiction just because of the social conversation? That's not what makes a film great. That's what makes a film from 2017 through now. Hell, let's even go back to 2016. Because it's not about the quality of the film, it's about the agenda around the film, what it spawns in the real world. Sometimes they try to fearmonger you into that with the Joker, and sometimes you have The Last Jedi, which they will just not let go. It's funny. The Last Jedi will become the most talked about film in Star Wars history, but for all the wrong reasons. The only positive I can think of for The Last Jedi is that it made us realize that Jar Jar Binks, while sucky, wasn't as bad as Star Wars could get. It is literally the hold my beer moment of Star Wars. So at least Rian Johnson did that. If Disney did anything, they were kind to the legacy of George Lucas. While a lot of people were turned off by the prequels, well, Disney just showed us that the grass is not always greener on the other side. So as I said upstairs in the video proper, what do you think the purpose, or what is the story of this new Disney trilogy? I can't figure it out. I don't know what the trilogy is about. Sorry to Ryan, that sounds stupid. But I can't. I'm not trying to be funny, folks. I honestly cannot tell you what this trilogy is about. Not to defeat the bad guy. Already done. To what? Remake Return of the Jedi? That's what the purpose of this next film is. And, well, if you doubt it, just come back in a few short weeks and we'll have the review and you can listen to us say, hey, we were right all along. The film was just as bad as you thought. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it all over said social media. Right now, YouTube is messing with us. We've had an issue where our channel gets frozen for a couple of hours, we don't get any views on the videos, and we're not getting recommended. So the way to fight that is to make sure you guys have the subscription bell notification turned on to all, not custom. That way you'll get notified when we put up videos all the time. We've had people ask, when are you guys going to put up more videos? It's been a while. No, it's just been like a few short days. For some reason, YouTube has been keeping us down. So what do? Well, we just come to the people and we fight back together. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it all over social media. If you're a super fan of this channel, well, we have a Facebook group. You can get involved with the community that way. But if you want more of us, and I know you do, well, join our Patreon page, patreon.com/worldclassbs. $1 a month helps, but $5, which is only 17 cents a day, goes even further. If you're listening to this on the first day of this video's release, and you're a $5 and up patron, well, guess what? You're going to get a bonus podcast, a whole show, 2 hours plus. We recorded it last night. It's going to go up on Patreon today. So if you're at work, you hear this video, and you want more of us, well, go to Patreon around the time this video goes live, and you'll have that to listen to. And if you go up to higher tiers, you get video content, t-shirts, and all kinds of stuff. And we're going to be altering a few things for the good. And you can also appear on this show. So if you have a dying need to come talk about The Last Jedi or anything pop culture related on this channel, well, join our Patreon page, find the tier that's right for you and that, and cash in on your perk. We got somebody coming on in a few short days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. People love those kind of roundtable discussions, and if you love them and you want to be the person that's involved, well, you know what to do. So folks, I gotta go. Be prepared, because next time we're breaking a big story. We're not going to tell you what it is. Just come back tomorrow and check it out for yourselves. So thank you for watching, and as always, be excellent to each other.